The tenets of democracy are skills for living in our society that include tolerance, critical thinking and decision-making, thinking together and making meaning, power sharing and empowerment, and individual responsibility and civil involvement with others. More information on this can be found in the Technology as Facilitator of Quality Education model. Students in an elementary school class have developed and distributed a survey to find out what type of person reads the Harry Potter books by J.K. Rowling. To help the students understand some of the mathematical concepts involved in interpreting data from a survey, the teacher has the class analyze the results of a survey in American Girl magazine. The students display critical thinking as they compare the two graphs and make inferences based on the data.
Where did these results come from? Michael, please.
The magazine.
Very good, Michael. How did you know that was the magazine as opposed to being from our class, the data from our class?
Because the greenish part is Hermione's, how many people voted for her. But in our class, there's only about one person who voted for her.
Hermione has 35%. And did she, you know that in our class she didn't have that high of a percent. Can anyone think of a fraction that is fairly close to 35%? Talk to each other. I like to see these hands up in the air. About what fraction of these people voted for her as their favorite character? Austin, please.
We thought it was 1/3 because that equals 33 and 1/3%.
Okay, so that 1/3 is a good knowledge base to have. That you know that 1/3 is worth how much?
33.
I can't hear you.
33 1/3%.
All right, so is this a little bit more or a little bit less than 1/3?
A little bit more.
A little bit more than 1/3. And in our class, did we have anywhere near 1/3 of the people voting for this as her favorite character?
No.
No, so Michael, you're right. We know just from the results.
The teacher poses a question about the results of the magazine survey, and the students work together to answer the question. The students demonstrate thinking together and making meaning as they work cooperatively to answer the teacher's question. They engage in a dialogue, working toward a shared perception of the survey data, which they share with the rest of the class.
I'm going to ask the question again. About how many people answered the survey for this magazine? Talk it over and be able to verify or tell me why you think what you think. What did your group come up with for an estimated number of people who responded? What did you come up with and why? What was your thinking? All right, would you explain for us first, Abby, from our Slytherins group?
We said about 2,000 because if you add 653, it has to be at least a little bit more than 1,000, and then you add another one. So we didn't exactly add them, but we figured that.
Okay, you didn't exactly add them, you just thought in your head that this one is about 1,000, but not quite?
If you add them both together.
Oh, add both of what together? Can you
653 plus 650.
Oh, so you thought I'm going to add 653 and 653. All right.
And then, that's probably about a little bit more than 1,000.
Okay, so that's going to be a little more than 1,000 for that. All right.
And then you add another one, so it's going to...
Another one.
Another 650.
Another 650 onto that.
And then we figured it was about 2,000.
So that would give you about 2,000. Exactly?
No.
About. I like the way that your group used the about. Because you didn't get down to the nitty-gritty of actually adding them. You just kind of used your head and used mental math to figure it out. Very good.
The students demonstrate critical thinking
you're
and
gonna
decision-making
have
when they
two
predict the
separate
results of their
charts or
survey.
graphs then,
In
one
cooperative
showing
groups, the
how-
students
what
focus
the
on
average
2
age of
research
the
questions they would like to
respondents
answer
was,
using
and
data
the
from their
average
survey.
people who
They
actually
make
read
predictions
books.
for the outcome
Okay,
of each
good.
question.
What do you predict about it?
You think that women read more than men because mostly men, they work on construction and
Things like that.
building, and they're more. We
they don't
think
have
that
time to do
men are more busy than women.
Like housewives read more.
Ooh, some real hot issues here. You think that men are busier than women, so women have more time to read books. Is that what I heard?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Well, because like my grandma, she's retired, and so is my grandpa. And my grandpa's usually out of his farm working, and my grandma's, she usually makes dinner and stuff, and then she'll read a book.
All right. Hunter, what was your...
So
Well, it's pretty much the opposite. My mom hardly reads at all, and my dad reads a lot.
Oh,
That happens.
so that...
Grandpa does too.
And your grandpa reads a lot, and your dad reads a lot?
What kind of housewives? And my grandma and my mom don't.
my dad,
All right, so you're kind of contradicting what they're saying, aren't you? You're kind of on the opposite side of that issue?
well, I'm kind of because my dad, he reads more than my mom because he reads like all the snowmobile and a new truck and that. He reads magazines about all this. My mom reads. Well, my mom really doesn't have time because she has crew meetings when she gets home at 12.
Okay, but let's go back to what your thought was that more, originally I heard you make the statement that more women read than men. Are you still willing to go with that, or?
Sit now.
We should be like, I think they both kind of read the same. Some parents don't read,
think
and other
that
parents
women
do.
and men read about the same.
The teacher encourages individual responsibility and civil involvement with others as the students work in groups in the computer lab. The students have to learn how to contribute to the group research project while sharing the available resources.
How do you feel, Alan? How do you feel about David being the one that has the mouse in his hands? How do you feel about that? Do you wish sometimes you had it so you could kind of do what you wanted? How would you feel that way if he had it? Would you feel like, ooh, give it to me, I want to do it? Maybe you need to both think about that and then collectively share each other's ideas, and then share the use of the mouse as well. All right? Instead of one person taking over ownership of everything. All right, super. I'm going to be watching and see how you guys handle that, all right?
The teacher promotes power sharing and empowerment by encouraging the students in each group to divide up their tasks so that everyone contributes. The students decide among themselves who will play what role in processing the survey data.
All right, may I have your attention for a moment, please? Reminder that what you're going to do today is you're going to get your feet wet. You're going to put it all together, as David has said. We're going to look at the surveys, and we're going to try to answer our questions we created. You have 2 computers. You have 2 questions. And most of you, I see, have divided up. You 2 are going to answer one of your questions. You 2 are going to answer the other one. You've got a blank diskette for each one. So when you go to save, what are you going to do? You're going to do save. What are you going to do? What are you going to mark? Save as. All right. If you have questions, raise your hand. We'll be around to you. And go for it.